Hi, Crafty Angels. I know I should remember your name, but I don't. Your first name, and I apologize. Crafty Angels. I should write these down, and I don't. Just waiting for the hoppers. Hello, Barbara. How are you? Friday the 13th. Hop day. Hop day. Girls, does it look like my camera is far enough away? Oh, hi, Aunt Beck. That's what I just said. Hop day. Welcome to the Paint Girly channel. Woo! Hi, Kimberly. Mrs. Gigi, hello. Oh, Crafty Angels. That's Vanessa. Hi, Mina. Hey, Ray Ray. Candy, hello. Oh, Vanessa is Angel Rose. Okay. Crafty Angels. I don't remember. Hi, Teresa. Come on in. Sylvia, hello. We'll wait just for a few more. I have a few minutes. Actually, everybody's early. I didn't know if we were taking a break, but I wanted to make sure I could see my chat. Hi, Brenda. Barbara, hello. Jean. All right, we're loading in. Oh, there's Beth. Hello. Do I need to bring my camera down, do you think? Did you see I requested to send you an amazing... Yes, I did, Barbara. Thank you. I did get that. Very nice. Thanks so much. Hello, Miss Holly. Thank you for coming in. Holly. I said to my husband, I can't answer the phone if it rings. And he said, well, why don't you take it out of the room? And sure enough, that phone just rang. I'm glad I took it out. All right, let's see here. Okay, hello, Mary. Mary, hello. All right, I'm just going to jump in and start, and then if we need to cut out early or whatever, folks can get a drink before the next host, or should we say, artisan. Beth is up after me. I'm not a doll person. I've never made a doll, and this challenge this theme for this month has taken me on a journey that I did not expect to go on. So I have a couple of process videos. I wasn't quite sure where I was going to land with the whole process. So I've done a couple of things, and I landed somewhere where I didn't think I would end up. So I started out, my sister, who really is just starting to felt and doing a great job, discovered a video where a gal showed how to make rag dolls without any sewing. And so my first pre-process video is walking you through to make these little rag dolls. And I didn't think they turned out too bad. And essentially what you do is you make your little head and you cut 3 different size circles, and you just continue to layer and wrap around the head. You just tie, and I had that guy backwards. That's the little back of her. So this is what I ended up with. Now, what I was thinking I'd like to try, which I haven't yet, is to go through my handkerchief stash and see if I have 3 different hankies that would work. Now, of course, they wouldn't be round on the end, but I'm wondering if a little hanky rag doll might be cute. So that's a food for thought. Now, I had a while ago purchased some fabric, paper doll fabric, and wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with that, and I've been holding on to that for a while. But it's these little images of retro little dolls. They kind of look like Campbell Soup kids to me, if you will. And so what I decided I wanted to do with her was to make her and then put her on a journal cover. So that was the second pre-process. No, what did I do that in a pre-process? Maybe I have three. I don't remember. Um, but I thought I did a video on this. You know what, girls? It's all running together. Anyway, the fabric comes where you get the little dolls. There's all different kinds. And then you get outfits that go on them. So my thought is to put Velcro and then be able to dress her and change her outfits for the front of the book. Now, I do have some of these available, and I will be putting some things up on my, of course, I will cut off the tabs on my community tab if anybody would be interested in some of this type of doll. So that was my second exposure to making a doll. And then I was watching a colleague of ours, Janet Young, and she was sharing some books. And one book that caught my attention is called Imaginary Characters, I think it's called, by Karen O'Brien, Obrien. And what she has a lot of different things in the book, but what she did in one section of the book, one chapter of the book, is she showed you us how she makes these faces. And what she does is she takes a piece of muslin, puts down either a napkin, or you can put down scrapbook paper, anything really you want, and you can put fabric on them, and then you draw a face and create these little faces and then attach them to a doll. So these are a couple of that kind of doll that I made. So the little face, you put down your fabric, your muslin, and then you put your, whatever you want to put on there. And you use matte medium or some kind of medium. And they become very flexible. And I just used pencil and a little bit of watercolor. I used my Inktense because after it dried, I didn't want it to really move. And then you can put all kinds of things on. Now you see I haven't finished this off. This little gal needs some stitching and some other things done, but I added ponytails to her. And this one I was working on today and just thought I'd give her longer locks. Put a little bit of lace that I cut out here, just so you can do anything you want with them, right? What I found helpful from Aunt Beck was learning that an art doll is a one-of-a-kind doll. And so then this little fella, I put these crazy ears on. So through this process, I thought, well, why can't I make my own pattern? And so I made my next doll, which really is kind of large, and I did a bear. And I discovered that I'm not very good at doing the fiber fill and stuffing. I did the face the same way and then just started to decorate the bear. Put a couple patches on the back side. And so through this process, I kind of like the pattern, but I wasn't crazy about my stuffing abilities with this. So then I came up with, well, what about a doll that I could use to collect, if you will, treasures or things that I'm not willing to part with. I think a lot of you are like me in that we have little bits of fabric or a little jewel or perhaps some beads, maybe have some Tanya beads, and you don't want to use them. You want to kind of keep those, hoard them for yourself. So I thought, well, what about a treasure doll, or as I have now called it, a booty bear? So what I've created is a booty bear. Now, this is not 3D, but this is my booty bear that I would like to introduce you to this evening. And I did the same pattern, but I just did some that's like fleece or batting, whatever you want to call, you could use to just make it a little thicker. I did the same kind of face. I put on one of my little faces. Now the front fabric I received from Frida. If she's in stream, she comes up as Icy. She's from Norway, and she sent me some beautiful fabric, and it had this beautiful applique on it. So what I've done is I've just started with my little booty bear. I'm called Slow Stitch Booty Bear, where I can put on any kind of different stitches that I might want. I have a pin collection, so I put some of my pins on, and this beautiful purple applique here that Sharon Marlowe tried to talk me out of, but I put it on my bear, and a little charm. I only have one of these little beads, don't want to part with it, some buttons, and I'll continue to add to my booty bear piece of sari silk, and then on the back I used cantha because I just like that. And so I'm going to have some booty bears too available on my community tab if anybody's interested. But this is my little booty bear collection. And from this, I went to what I want to share with you this evening. I like primitive country kinds of things and those crazy art dolls that are really so weird looking that they're just adorable. And so what I did was I took a piece of muslin and I cut out this crazy shape. I wanted it to have a long head and a kind of a squarish body. So I just drew that out on muslin, cut it out, stitched it, turned it inside out. And then I had some country striped, almost like a ticking kind of fabric that I attached for legs. Now these legs, I'm going to just tie a knot in and make that for like little kneecaps. All right. And as I've said before in some of my streams or hops, for the hops, I'd like to, if I can, incorporate painting wherever I can, because Pink Girly channel. All right. So I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I've pre-painted the base of this art doll. So I did a flesh color on the head and neck, and I just did a taupe kind of color on the body. And my plan is to perhaps paint the collar, do the face. We'll see how far I get. Maybe like little straps or something from an apron. I just took some fabric and did a quick gather. So I'm going to put, eventually when I get this painted, I'm going to put the fabric around. Oops, sorry, knocked the camera. I don't know if I put my camera up, you can see the rest of her. And then I have a piece of old hanky that's going to come here and kind of serve as her apron. So tonight what I want to do is try to create a face and the top of her outfit. And then this, I'm just going to glue this on with my Fabri-Tac. And then I might put, a little ribbon around here. I don't know how she'll end up. My pencil. And I do have arms that I've made like the legs. I'm just going to attach those and knot them and see how she turns out. So I have a little bit of paint pulled out. Now, a couple of my colleagues from my co-op, they make really fabulous dolls and pieces with this process. And after they paint it, I think they might sand it a little bit and then put a coat of sealer and then let that dry real well and maybe a light sand and then seal again. I don't know where this is going or how she's going to end up looking. I might put some stitches in her head or a couple of tufts of thread for hair. I'm not sure how she's going to end up. Of course, she will not be finished this evening. And if I don't like what I paint on, I'm thinking, hey, I can paint over it and have redo, correct? So my friends say they use cinnamon to grunge up the edges of their dolls, and then they smell really great. So I have a little bit of cinnamon here in my little paint well, And I put out some white and I have some black. So I'm going to attempt to do the face live at the hop. So I'm just going to take a small brush. And originally I was just going to do eyes like I did on these dolls. But I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and paint and see what happens. So it's a really small space. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to just put a couple of little marks where I want to build the nose. Kind of like center it, hopefully. And then I like to float and use my, well, I don't know if I'm going to paint, you know, they didn't give me, they told me they used cinnamon to grunge up the fabric. And I tried it a little bit on a piece of scrap. And I really didn't see that it did too much. So I'm thinking I have to wet it. So we're going to see how this goes. So what I'm thinking is, of course, this paint is not drying very quickly. So I don't want to smear the nose. Let me give a little heat here. See if we can dry it off a little bit. Because I just want to float a little bit of color perhaps around the nose here to just give a little bit of shadow and a hint of a nose. And this is the same color I used on the, and that's not going to work. It's not dark enough. All right, let's see what we have here. Let me grab something darker. This burnt umber, maybe that will work. All right, let's try this. I mean, you can see it a little bit, but not a whole lot. Now, I could put fabric down and use that for the nose, of course, but I just thought I'd give this a go. And I'm going to flip it so I can come back the other way and go around the nose this way. And I'm going for a really, you know, very primitive kind of, if you will, not a real cute look. I'm trying to go for something that's just a little off the mark here. Something really crazy. Now it's a painted surface on cloth, so this is not moving. Of course, I might have been able to use a little bit of, oh, what do they call it? Like a float medium kind of a thing. Probably would allow me to move this a little better. All right, so we're getting our little nose, and I can come back in there. So I want to put a little bit of white on to start building some kind of an eye. She may look very homely by the time we're done. See, now I do better when I turn things around upside down. Oh, I'm out of frame. Trying to make that other eyeball. Now I'm going to give that a minute to dry. And then I'm just going to come down here, and I was thinking I'd like to give her maybe some kind of a collar. So let's see. And I'm going to do that in white. So I'm thinking this is the center. I'm just going to like loop around here. Just fill this in. I wanted to paint it and put a base coat underneath so that my fabric would start to get stiff. If any of you have ever seen this kind of a doll, they're very hard and stiff. And I just want to make a little white, maybe like what you would call a Peter Pan collar kind of a thing. So I'm just going to come around, and I'm just freehanding this. So like I said, if it doesn't turn out so great, I think I can just paint over it. And I can also add some lace and some other things, you know. Now I kind of got off center here. So let's make this a little bigger. And then I was thinking probably off camera, because I won't have time here, instead of painting this whole area, to come in and do some kind of a blouse color, maybe something lighter, maybe dry brush it a little bit. And I'm not going to worry about the back tonight, but I can finish that off. Yeah, see, I've got her little collar's a little wonky. But I'm thinking in the art doll world, wonky might not be a bad thing. And it takes a little longer to dry than normal. Now I'm going to put out a little bit of blue. I want her to have some blue eyes. Oh, that's way too much. Way too much. So I'm just going to put a little bit of blue in here. And my paint is really not dry yet, but that's okay. I'm just giving her a little light blue eye. Ooh. Now I'm going to take my liner brush and some black and start creating around the eye. Yeah, she's a conehead doll, yes. Now you probably could do this too with, say, a Sharpie marker, or Sharpie, not a marker, a pen. Which might be a little easier. I'm usually a little better with a paintbrush. And then I'm going to give her a little bit of an eyebrow. And we're going to come under here. Give her a little bit of a definition under her eye. And I'm going to twirl her. I'm going to twirl her. And let me see if I can get back in the camera here. I mean, it's not the easiest surface to paint on, but it's certainly not the most difficult either. And now we got to give her some lips. Let's see what we have here. I didn't pull out anything for lips. Let's see if Santa red, that might work. If I can get the cap off. Well, the cap's not coming off, so let's see if I can get just a little dot of red. And I think I want to make her lips more of a heart shape. Let's see here. I'm going to pick the right brush. You just have to be careful not to have too much water in your brush, because then it just makes a mess. Oh, look, I just put my thumb in her collar. Okay, so let's do just little, like little comma strokes here. Just start that heart mouth. It helped me with the shape. The hardest part is doing something like this on the hop, is that you don't always have time to let it really dry completely. Now she'll look better with a little bow or something on her head. Oh, Mary, thank you so much. That's my first super chat. Thank you. So sweet. All right, her little blue eyes are not quite dark enough, so I'm going to just add a little more here. And I'm not watching my time, so I'm sure I really want to be able to see that blue. Now I'm going to try this cinnamon. So if I just take a little bit, I just have one of those soft makeup brushes that I'm going to try. And I want to just dust some on. See, yeah, and that's not really doing anything. So I'm going to wet the, I'm going to wet my brush a little bit. Because I'm really wanting to try this cinnamon. Now, of course, I could use paint. I could use watercolor. I could use the oxide. Inks, if you will. Yeah, it definitely has to be wet. But I've never done this before. And then, of course, they use it all along the seams of the dolls to kind of grunge them up. But I don't know if there's another trick to it. But she's not taking on the color of the cinnamon that much. Now, once that dries, I don't know if I'll be able to brush some more of it off. But she really looks like she needs Makeup 101. How to apply the brush. All right, I'm going to let her eyes. So then my idea was to have, you know, her dress come up here and maybe just paint some straps. Gosh, what the heck do you call those? You know, like an apron. You know how the old-timey aprons would come up over your shoulders? You know, I'm not sure how this green paint's going to go, so let's just try it. This is a different kind of green than my bottom. And I'm just going to... And then I can come back in and I'll do a blouse. And then I was thinking I might put some swirls or something in there. And, but hopefully you're getting the idea. And then I'm just going to come over here. Yeah, like a pinafore. Yes. Kind of like that. See, and I can come back in, and then I might do a little bit of highlighting on here. I'm not sure. I did bring out some highlighting type of paints. She's kind of a manly gal. Ooh, look, there she is. So I've got that, and then of course what I showed you earlier. This is gonna, you know, the skirt will come around this way. And then I'll add I like the idea of using an old hanky. I don't know if you can really see the bottom of her. You know, I might have to hem her dress. But that's the idea. And I was thinking I might do her blouse. I said maybe a lighter color, but now that I'm doing this, I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do like Georgia Clay. I love Georgia Clay. All right, let me see if I can get some black pupils in here. I still have some time, right? I didn't look at what time I'm actually done. Let me see if I can get the little pupil in here too. That paint's still not really quite dry. But she'll look much better with a little. And I can zhuzh these eyes a little bit later. And then what if I just did this? See, I took a little piece of this fabric. Now let's just see, from her skirt. It might be a little too thin, but what if I did this? Let's put that paint up for a minute. What if I just took a little bit of fabric and just tied this around her head and made a bow? I don't know if I can do it without smearing her eyes. Let me do it not on there. Let me just see if I can get a halfway decent bow here, at least just to give us an idea. Now the other dolls, I just made the hair out of some thread. And more like the kind of thread you would use if you were going to crochet a doily, that kind of, weighted thread. I forget what they call it. It's like a number 10. Let me see if I can. Oh, she looks better already. I think it needs to be a little wider piece of fabric. But that might do, trim that off. I'm not sure about the little pinafore. But if I wasn't in a hurry, once the rest of the hoppers go, I can sit here and fuss around with it. And then I'll attach her arms, and then I can attach other things too. I can slow stitch or add something to her skirt, put a little pin, a little piece of, I had a little piece of, oh, here it is. You could really put, can you really see that? Put a little piece of, cut out from a lace and just add. And then I was thinking around her collar, I could just put dots. Dots always help. Thanks, Mrs. Gigi. She's turning out cute. So I'll shore up, her little bow. I think I'll use a nicer piece. And I might come in and, fix up her eyes a little bit. And I might give her cheeks a little more color. I'll have to ask my girlfriends how they use that cinnamon, because that just really didn't work too well for me. I was thinking I might put a little bit of stuffing in the legs, but I think I like them just knotted. So I think I'm going to leave her that way. Yeah, she looks like she's thinking, I don't know if this bow's a little too tight on my head. Thank you, Vanessa. I wonder what the, how much time do I have left, Murray? What time do I need to go? I know that Beth is next. I might just put a little bit of Georgia clay on here to see how that color combo might look. So then, like I said, my girlfriends, Beth is next. Okay, great. And they use just a regular sealer, just a regular paint sealer, like an acrylic paint sealer, that once all this paint is dry, I might need something a little more red, but we'll see. And then seal it, and they get nice and hard and crunchy. And I just really have always wanted to try this kind of a doll. And thanks to Mary and her great idea, I finally got to it. I think this color might be good. Does anyone know what time I'm supposed to be done? I know Murray does, but if she told me, I missed it. Oh, 5 minutes. I see it, Aunt Beck. 4 minutes. Okay, thank you so much. So this is about it for me. Thank Mary again for this awesome opportunity. And I really have enjoyed the journey that this challenge. I probably will. Who mentioned, I guess it was Deb. Oh, Deb, the soft sculpture was really cool. Doing some post videos. And if it's okay with Mary, I think that would be a great idea. And then I can finish her up. My pleasure. Thank you, Joy. Make sure you hop on over to Beth and check out what she's got for us tonight. And I'll see you all there in chat. It's been a fun night so far. Can't wait to see what everyone else is doing this evening. Thanks for joining me and the other ladies. Hop on over to Beth's and we'll see you there. Thanks, ladies. I'll just hang out here for a few minutes. Yeah, Barbara, I think that's going to work out good, right? Where's my little skirt? I think that'll be good with the green. I'll put a little decoration in there. Love me some Georgia clay. All right, ladies. We'll see you at Beth's. Bye-bye. Thanks, ladies. Thanks, Sharon.